Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. We're playing another game jam game called Culling of Normality. It's a horror visual novel. I think it's about 15-20 minutes long. You will get to hear my annoying voice as I read this aloud. Bring you in closer, there we go. The alarm clock goes off at the crack of dawn, the official start of a new day, this day being August 13th. The married couple groggily get up from their bed. Ugh, it's so early. The pigs and chickens won't be happy if you make them wait for breakfast. Fine. The farmer got dressed while admiring the family portrait, as he did every morning. It always made his heart warm to see his family together. Him, his wife, their son, and their daughter. Morning. The red-headed girl yawned sleepily. Morning, Daddy. The boy grunted in reply. His sister was better at mornings. Sam, you got chicken duty today. Nate, you are on pigs. Ugh. Now get some breakfast and get to your chores. The farmer's wife quickly fixed up dinner for her children as the farmer skipped it to get to milking the cows. The farmer went to the cow shed. He only owned a few, but loved them like family. They woke up as he entered the shed. Morning, girls. The cows eyed him lazily, but perked up when he brought out their feed. With the cows happily munching at breakfast, the farmer got to work milking them. The manual labour had long since been a routine, and in its own way it made him happy. Once finished with his chores, the farmer patrolled the land to make sure his kids weren't getting into trouble. Hi, Daddy. Hello, darling. You doing okay? Yeah, the book is a little heavy, but I can manage. The chicken sure are hungry this morning. She carried a metal pail, half filled with birdseed. The farmer noticed something out of place near the chicken coop, a small red toy tractor. It easily fit in the palm of his hand. Must be Nate's. He pocketed it and made sure Sam finished her chores, then continued his rounds around the property. The farmer strolled over to the pig pen and found the pigs, already fed and happily rolling in mud. Looked like Nate already finished and was nowhere to be seen. The farmer headed inside to the boy's room. Hey, Nate. Yeah? Found your toy out by the chicken coop. You know you aren't supposed to take it outside like that. You'll lose it. The farmer pulled out the tractor and held it out to his son. The boy looked confused at the object, taking it from his father and examining it closely. This ain't mine. The boy reached under his bed and pulled out an exact replica of the toy his father just gave him. Mine has a scratch on this tire here. He showed the alteration to his father. There was a sense of unease that crept over the farmer in this moment, a sense that he may have forgotten something important, like a cold stiffness enveloping his body. We're gonna investigate the room and find his nudie mags. Something doesn't feel right. The farmer took a hard look around the room. It had a double bed and there were more than enough clothes for one boy. In fact, there were several duplicates of outfits. Are you sure you don't know where this came from? The boy stared at his father once again, then at the toy. Tears began to well up in his eyes. Keep looking. The boy didn't answer, looking almost afraid. The farmer started going through the boy's clothes and toys. He found that the boy seemed to have a duplicate of just about everything. Every toy and garment had a match. He noticed on the boy's Sunday best his mother had embroidered his name on it. Seemed a silly thing to do. There was a gnawing at the farmer's stomach. He turned his attention to the dress shirt's duplicate and slowly reached for it. He read the embroidered name on the duplicate dress shirt. Andrew. Like, who is Andrew? There was a look of confusion on the boy's face. It twisted with pain as he suddenly got up and ran out of the room. The farmer let him go. God dang it! The farmer took a bit of time to try and mull things over. Stunned by this inexplicable feeling, he wandered the property doing odd jobs mindlessly. It felt as if he roamed about like a zombie from task to task the entire day, skipping lunch. By the time his wife hollered at him from the house, he couldn't be sure how long he had zoned out for. By the setting sun, it must have been most of the day. He's got a hot wife. In the kitchen, the family was already gathered and seated at the table. There was an extra empty chair at the table. It had always been there, but its presence felt off to the farmer. His wife said everyone's placed at the table. She had made him a nice home-cooked dinner. Well, go ahead and say grace, dear. Alright. The farmer tried to shrug off his stupor and enjoyed the meal. The evening activities unfolded as normal. Before long it was time to go to bed, to get back up tomorrow and do it all again. The alarm clock goes off at the crack of dawn. The official start of a new day. This day being August 14th. The Farmer got dressed while admiring the family portraits as he did every morning. It always made his heart warm to see his family together. Him, his wife, and their daughter. What? What? Where'd Nate go? That's the farmer's wife. Now, why would I go and do a fool thing like that? Her miscarriage of the twins was the hardest thing in our lives, so I bring up such sore memories. Hey. Okay. The morning was the usual. The three got up. They ate breakfast together. The farmer milked the cows, his wife fed the hogs, and Sam tended to chickens. There was gnawing at the farmer's stomach today. Something just felt off. When he sat down to milk the cows, groaned in pain as something in his back pocket jabbed him. He retrieved whatever it was. This is one of the boys. Oh, why was it in my back pocket, though? Sam, no, that makes no sense. The farmer left the cow shed, cows unmilked, and quickly got over to the chicken coop where Sam was nowhere to be found. The farmer looked around and saw Sam leaving the house and coming his way. She looked surprised to see him there. Oh, finished with the cows. I got nothing. Oh, finished with the cows already. Not quite, but I wanted to ask if you know anything about this. The farmer held out the toy tractor. Sam looked at the toy for a moment, her eyes fluttering. What is that? I found it in my back pocket this morning. You know anything about that? Sam's eyebrows tensed at the allegation. No? Yeah, I didn't think you would, but I don't remember putting it there either. Sam was silent for a moment. Don't worry about it, darling. Yeah, I'm sure it's nothing. Yeah, I'll let you get back to it. Back to the chores, keeping the tractor. The farmer finished milking the cows, then began to do his rounds to check Sam's work. By the time he got over the chicken coop, Sam had already finished her chores, done diligently. The farmer saw her out in the backyard, swinging on the tar swing which hung from the old maple tree. Suppose I put it up long enough? Let's put this toy back. The farmer went inside the house. He approached the closed and locked door to the room that would have been his twins. The farmer was alone in the house. With a deep breath, he grabbed his key ring and went to unlock the door. Surprisingly, the door was already unlocked. He suspiciously entered the room. Now, why would the door be unlocked? The farmer sighed heavily as he took in the room. Boys were scattered on the floor. Children's clothes hung from the rack. The double bed lay dishevelled. Looks like whoever was in here trashed the room. The farmer's eyebrows furrowed. Sam wouldn't be interested in these boys' toys, would she? Why would she come in here like this? Why would she trash the room? Or maybe it was my wife. But why? She looking for something? I'll need to ask them about the room tonight. Not a conversation I'm looking forward to, though. His mind shifted topics as he looked around the room, forced to deal with memories he would like to forget. What was I thinking? Why didn't I build a crib? What was I planning with this bed for two babies? The farmer noticed a tear roll down his cheek. I'm an idiot. We bought all these clothes long before the boys would even need them. And Sam's old baby clothes are still in the box somewhere. The farmer opened the toy chest and puts the tractor back in, and spent a couple minutes cleaning up the rest of the room. The farmer leaves the room, his head rattled. Much like yesterday, the farmer felt zoned out for the majority of the rest of the day, stewing on his thoughts. Something just felt wrong. At one point, the farmer found himself with the old maple tree. The tire swing swayed lightly in the breeze. Laying in the dirt below it, he noticed something shining and picked it up. Sam's looked like. Yeah, I'll give it back to her tonight. That's a nice pen. The farmer pocketed it. Before long, the sun was starting to set. With the daily chores done and the sun starting to go down, it's time to reconvene inside the house and eat supper. Sitting at the table, the thoughts of the twins' room swells in his mind. And then the ball came flying right towards me. I had to run and die for it, but I caught it. Sam regarded her parents with a tale of her last softball game. His wife sat smiling warmly at their daughter, listening intently. We have a future Major League player at the table, wouldn't you say, dear? Oh, yeah, definitely. He looked at his family, smiling brightly. He didn't want to ruin the moment by bringing up something painful. He resigned himself to ask them about the room tomorrow. Sam's pen slipped his mind during dinner, leaving it stashed in his pocket for tomorrow. You know Sam's going to be gone now, ain't she? The alarm clock goes off with the crack of dawn. The official start of a new day, the day being August 15th. The farmer got dressed while admiring the family portrait, as he did every morning. It always made his heart warm to see him and his wife standing side by side. Yep, there you go. Yeah. The seemingly happy married couple ate breakfast together, making small talk about the weather and crops, but it was all meaningless conversation. The moments of silence were straining. Of course, taking care of a farmstead is a job too big for two people, but fate has been especially cruel to us. The farmer gritted his teeth. Sam didn't deserve what happened to her. No child does. A freak accident? More like God smiting us for some reason. Losing one child isn't bad enough. The miscarriage 6 years ago? 3 children in total. That's when I stopped believing. Or maybe he just hates us. Honey? The farmer snapped out of his thoughts and looked up at his wife, who wore a concerned expression. He realised he was gripping his fork hard enough to start bending it. He dropped the utensil on the table. It's nothing, don't worry. She didn't say anything. After finishing breakfast, it was time to take on their large task load of chores to keep the farm running. As the farmer moved to do his daily routine with the cows, he noticed something amiss in the breast pocket of his overalls. He fished around and pulled out the unfamiliar object. Huh? Where did this come from? Looks like the one we got for Sam on her 11th birthday. The farmer knows he hasn't been in their room for a couple of months at least. Investigate. The farmer solemnly walked back towards the house. He glanced at the side of the house and saw his wife at the herb garden, pulling weeds with her garden trowel like usual. She didn't seem to notice him. The farmer came to Sam's door. Taking a single step in the room filled the farmer with dread, and yet the farmer felt compelled to. Was it masochism? Oh, sorry, masochism? No, masochism. Masochism, yeah. Something machismo. Guilt. He looked over the old toys and garments of the daughter he lost, not nearly as dusty as he assumed they would be. Pulled out the pen and went to put it on the bedside table, as good of a place as any. On the bedside table lay the journal that went with the pen. He stared at it for a moment, considering. He picked it up and sat on the small bed. I miss her. This will probably only hurt me more, not give me comfort. The farmer's rational side tried to brace for the emotional impact he was sure he was about to endure. He opened to the first page. The farmer smiled in a distraught, melancholic way. March 2nd, Mom and Daddy got me this diary for my birthday. Told me to keep notes, write down important things. Told me that when I'm older, it would be fun to look back on. But I thought when I was a kid. I'm not a kid, though. I'm nearly 12 now. I think it's a little silly, but I'll humor her. March 7th. School is hard, but I'm getting the hang of it. Mrs. Graham has been helping me with my math. I've also been looking at joining the softball team. I'm hoping to get on and become friends with Amy. I really do want to be her friend. I just hope she wants the same thing. The bittersweet memories of his little girl stabbing at his heart as he read over her words. He flipped the page and continued to read. Wait. March 17th. Secret. That means you, Nate and Andrew. I really hope no one reads this. I would die of embarrassment. I put it off thinking it was dumb to write it down in the first place for days, but I just can't contain myself anymore. I can't stop thinking of that dang Jacob boy in my class. Oh, I find myself daydreaming about him when I'm in class. Mrs. Graham even hollered at me today about zoning out. My face went red as a tomato. I just know it. Spring break's coming up. Maybe I'll get up the courage to ask him out on a date or something. March 19th. I hate my stupid little brothers. It's bad enough they're annoying at home, but since they started going to the same school as me this year, they've been bugging me there too. Now I'm afraid they might do something stupid like tell Jacob how I feel about him before I'm ready. Good thing Nate believes me when I say I break his arm worse than the last time we fractured it playing soccer. We got this for her this spring. The miscarriage happened years ago. Is this some kind of fantasy? Her imagining what her brothers would have been like? Did she not understand our talk about losing the babies? I suppose she was only 5 or so when it happened. Seems far-fetched for an 11-year-old to have this kind of an imagination. Worrying, even. With a bit of dread and a bit of intrigue, the farmer turned to the next page. More minor thoughts from a child, nothing particularly of note until he stopped on one that looked out of place. July 29th. Yeah, I swear I just saw something in the corner, out my window, something pale, like an albino, well, albino, like an albino or something. There shouldn't have been any coyotes or nothing out here, haven't been for years. I hadn't but just stuck the cotton in my ears to ignore my brothers bouncing around next door and get some shit out of it. I saw it. It's dark out, but I know I saw something. What the hell? This date is after the accident. She mislabel it? Did she mean June? The farmer flipped back and looked at the surrounding entries. All the dates lined up chronologically. There were multiple entries after the incident. Is this some cruel joke? The farmer examined the handwriting. It was not his wife's, though he had no idea why she would make false entries to begin with. Any explanation except ghostwriting escaped him. He closed the journal, feeling sick to his stomach and unsure of what to think. Was this a nightmare? Thinking about the situation gave him a headache. The farmer felt lightheaded as he put the book back on the bedside table. He noticed a small jar of cotton balls, apparently what Sam used as earplugs. The farmer grabbed a couple, not entirely sure why. As he stood, he noticed his hands were trembling. Maybe with some good old-fashioned manual labor will calm my nerves. The farmer knew he was lying to himself, but what else could he do? Once again, the farmer spent the rest of the day in the haze. Once again, the day came to a close. It was time for supper and bed. Over dinner, the farmer wanted to talk to his wife, but there really wasn't anything left to say. She'd felt rather cold to him since everything happened, but he can't say he blamed her. Such pain hardens a person. He had felt it in himself as well. Uh, uh, found Sam's pen journal today. His wife's normal warm smile fell from her face. She looked back at him, sternly, coldly even. This wasn't a conversation she wanted to have, it appeared. The farmer didn't either. I wouldn't bring it up unless it was important. He tried to reassure her, but it didn't look like it worked. And it just don't make no sense. There are entries about the farmer hesitated for a moment. Boys. There were even some after the accident. There was a silence in the room. What are you talking about? Why are you saying this? She stood up, the anger evident in her face. Even if he was telling the truth, she didn't want to hear it. Before the farmer could form a coherent thought, she stormed off, slamming the front door on the way out. The farmer sat there, stunned for a moment. Before he could chase after her, he heard the truck engine start. He went to the window to see the truck pull off down the driveway. Ugh. I guess I'll have to deal with that in the morning now, too. He went to bed alone, dreading the morning. He was going to wake up without his wife. The alarm clock goes off at the crack of dawn. The official start of a new day. Yay! This day being August 16th. The farmer got dressed while cursing his life. No family, not anymore. The ex-wife he hates up and left him. Took all the kids with her too. Farm was never meant to be run by a single person. He must work day in and day out just to keep the thing running by himself. He resentfully got to work. Milking cows and heading to the chicken coop, the farmer saw something laying in the dirt near the house. He went over and picked it up. Huh. Must have forgot it when she left. Good riddance. The farmer tossed the trowel to the ground dismissively. He looked up the driveway where he remembered her driving off with the truck and the kids in the back seat. Except the truck was still there and it was parked at an odd angle. Not with the tailgate towards the house like normal, but turned around as if someone drove up to the house and immediately got out. He went over out of pure curiosity to check it out. The driver's side door wasn't latched. He opened the door to investigate. The truck's cabin was empty. There were several bottles of wine in a crate on the passenger seat. Farmer certainly didn't remember buying that. Delusional thoughts. The farmer felt like a fool. There was no one around to see him except the animals. He took a small cotton ball, ripped it in half, and stuffed the pieces into his ears, deafening himself. The sounds of the farm and ambient noise of the country died out. The farmer slowly spun around, looking lazily at the property, expecting to see nothing, but something caught his eye. A hole had been punched in the cornfield directly across from the truck. What the hell? As he walked closer, the slime on the ground seemed to slightly sizzle. The knocked over cornstalks laying the eaves were nearly completely dissolved. Standing at the entrance of the trail, the farmer felt a chilled wind blow past him, far colder than should be possible in summer. You're gonna follow it, obviously. The farmer carefully walked forward, swallowing the lump in his throat. He made sure to slowly proceed, avoiding the acidic ooze. The trail curved right into a small clearing in the middle of a cornfield. The sky seemed suddenly dark in the night, and bright stars appeared overhead. In the centre of the clearing lay a massive, pure white mound of flesh. The farmer's gasp of shock was enough to arouse the thing. Hundreds of eyes all over its body popped open and spotted him. The mound shifted away. The farmer was simply too shocked and fearful to run. His legs buckled and he crumpled to the ground as this creature slithered up to him. In one fatal chomp, he joined his family. Oh my. The farmer learned somewhat what was going on the past few days and why everything had felt so weird. But it cost him his life. Maybe he would have been better off just running away. This is my first video game and it's very expensive. No, it's appreciated. I also enjoyed it. That's cool. I enjoyed that and I'd like to continue on with some other dialogue. So I'll hit skip, like so. We will brush it off this time. Farmer took a bit of time to try and mull things over. Stunned by this inexplicable feeling, he wandered the property doing odd jobs. Felt as if he roamed about like a zombie from task to task. By the time his wife hollered at him, like, can I just hit skip? Yeah, there we go. Finish the chores first. Finish milking the cows. Shy away from the pain. Boop. The alarm clock goes off with the crack of dawn. The official start of a new day, this day being August 17th. However, the alarm doesn't stop going off. No one was there to stop it. All of the animals wait for hours and days for their handlers to feed them. Yet no one came. To a passerby, it would look as if someone just up and abandoned their whole life one day. Just got in the car and drove away from everything they owned. To a passerby, it would look as if someone just up and abandoned the car. Except the car was still there. It took months for the police to finally notice there was an abandoned farmhouse with a bunch of dead livestock rotting in their pens. Oh, that's sad. It got chalked up to some kind of legal activity in the papers. They were clueless to the real reason. If only they had looked for more clues. You're welcome, but we're still gonna rummage through. Okay, investigate. Keep looking. Don't ask. Let's go about the toy. Put the toy tractor back. Investigate a room. Call it a fluke. I guess that was it, just the two endings, but Culling of Normality, thought was quite good. Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. It's a good game. It's part of a game jam, so I'm hoping they get well with that as well. So thanks everyone for checking out the video, watching it. Feel free to like, subscribe, check out more content down below. You can check out the game and the developer down in the description, as well as follow me on Twitter. Hope you all have a fantastic day and have a fantastic night. Bye for now.